Hello and welcome to A Life of Power. If you are ready to step into your full human power, energy, life force, beauty, and inner strength, you are in the right place. My name is Natalia Rose, and in addition to being the author of 9 books on detoxification and cleansing, weight loss, and ageless beauty, I'm also the founder of the Natalia Rose Institute. Through my private Manhattan practice, books, and courses, I have been teaching my clients and students how to harness, embody, and wield the power of life for nearly 2 decades, enabling hundreds of thousands of my readers, clients, and students to restore their health, weight, beauty, and energy to optimum levels. But as wonderful as all that is, my findings and teachings have now gone way beyond that. My own personal understandings evolved my teachings to now be able to offer the higher insights that transcend even the teachings of perfect physical health that I'm known for. My teachings have evolved, and now I can enable you to access the power that does the healing, beautifying, strengthening, regenerating directly. If you're familiar with the concept of cause and effect, you can think of it this way. What I'm going to teach you is how to access and work with the causal power. The causal power is the power that causes health, that causes healing, that causes beauty and regeneration. It is the power that drives and sustains all good things so that you may become independently empowered to maintain and increase this power indefinitely for your highest development. I call it living a life of power. This is the first video in a series of 3 fundamental training videos that will introduce you to a life of power, where I'll be teaching you how to recover the precious vital energy that has been systematically drained from you since even before you were born, so that this power may instead now be returned to you, flood back to you, so that you may live the life you were born to live, a life of power. In this 3-part video series, you will receive keys that will enable you to immediately stop squandering and spilling your personal quota of universally endowed power, however unwittingly you may have done so. This is power that has been allotted to you just by the very nature of being a human, being born into the magic of life, but siphoned from you unawares. Humans have completely lost touch with this rich power, and it is now time for anyone who is ready to be reunited with it. This power and generous quota, of which is meant just for you, is indisputably the most valuable commodity you could possibly possess. Yes, it is far more valuable than money or any of the other material currencies our society deems to be valuable. You simply need to learn how to retrieve this lost power. As you do so, you will understand why I say that the retrieval and restoration of this power is the single most important thing you can do in your life right now. You're going to want to make this your highest priority. Without access to this power, you are frankly powerless, which is sadly the state of almost everyone on the planet today. With it, by contrast, you become empowered in the highest sense of the word, and you can begin to fully live a life of power, the most enviable, unparalleled status available to humankind. A life of power is designed to restore power on every level: physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, professionally, and creatively, and confer all the benefits of your restored power to your personal relationships and everything you wish to create in your life. The full spectrum of your life will be renewed. I'm going to teach you how to work with the power of life and become a being of pure power, a powerhouse, which is what I like to call my dedicated students. So, how do you harness, embody, and wield the power of life and start leading a life of power? The goal of this workshop is to give you the critical insights you need to know to start to become such a powerhouse. I didn't always have access to power the way I do now. In fact, even with all my knowledge and application of restoring health to the body through right diet and cleansing practices, I had yet to come into full understanding of this energy and power. But it came as a natural unfolding due to the benefits that internal physical cleansing conferred to me. You see, this power that I speak of was the power that was doing the work for myself, for my readers, and for my clients. The principles I was teaching created the conditions for life force energy to flow in the body, which brought huge amounts of fresh energy into the being. But there was more to it than that I would eventually discover. Coming to this higher knowledge, which I will teach you, explained why cleansing the body seemed to trigger all the other aspects of the being, emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic, to come online, refreshed and restored. I'll speak about that more shortly, but the point I wish to make first is that even with all the important pieces of the puzzle that I was uniquely fortunate to possess, I was still missing out on a significant perspective that would bring the full picture into crystal clear focus and make sense of our innate sense of great worth beyond what we've been led to believe. Like the specialized knowledge I teach on cleansing the body, this is highly specific and not available elsewhere. I only came to it through my own personal cleansing journey, coupled with deep introspection and access to rarefied teachings from very special guides. Let's go back to this part. Let's see. Let's go back to like the specialized knowledge. Like the specialized knowledge I teach on cleansing the body. Wait, let me do that one again. Sorry. Like the specialized knowledge I teach on cleansing the body. This is highly specific and not available elsewhere. I only came to it through my personal cleansing journey, coupled with deep introspection and access to rarefied teachings from very special guides. All of these came together serendipitously, enabling me to see the bigger, clearer picture. So, to be clear, this knowledge is not readily available in the world, not on the internet or a classroom. This is not the stuff of scholastic curriculums, although it is indeed academic in nature. Despite being a graduate of one of the most prestigious universities in America and extremely well read in the esoteric arts, esoteric just means knowledge that is not openly shared, as well as having a great deal of spiritual and religious knowledge, I was still never exposed to the mechanics of this power and how it operates. There were no books that taught me what I came to understand. No single book, no single teacher or guide, no single area of study provided the knowledge that would eventually be pieced together. Once I had the picture, I realized I had to teach and share this critical information, just as I taught the critical information about health, youth regeneration, and weight loss that I previously became so well known, trusted, and respected for. So let's dig in. In this first video, we're going to focus on achieving a life of power. Do you want to know the key reason that my clients and students transform so radically? When I tell you, you'll know the most important key to healing. Here it is. Their transformations are due to something called primal power. More specifically, their transformations occur because they go from having a deficit of primal power to having a surplus of primal power. When their primal power is drained from them, in the case of having a deficit of primal power, they get sick and heavy, depressed, disgruntled, and out of sorts. And then, when they remove the drains and blocks impeding their body's workings, more specifically impeding the life force that is meant to flow through them, they recover. Once their primal power quota is restored from deficit to surplus, they get well, they get lean, they get happy, and everything works. Their sickness and their health was all simply due to a depletion of primal power. I'm guessing this is probably the first time you've ever heard the term primal power. It is for most. Primal power is the original power of life. Primal means first, original. So by primal power, I mean the source power, the supreme substance of life. It is the causal power, the power that causes life to be birthed. So this power is a pretty big deal. Primal power is the be-all, end-all energy of life. It is what animates life, the power that causes solar systems to take shape, and the power that ignites humans, plants, animals, minerals, insects, and the tiniest microbes with life. Primal power is purely good and purely healing, energizing, enlightening, and it results in increased intelligence, increased beauty, and youthful appearance. I know, it's amazing. And it's free. You just have to learn how to create the conditions for it, which I will teach you. We are designed to move through our lives with unvanquishable supplies of this supreme substance, this primal power. It should be rich within our whole living system, our body, its systems, our emotional, mental, and energetic systems. That was the original design for humans. But it has been tragically interfered with, leaving us in a major primal power deficit that we must remedy if we are to truly know ourselves, as the Delphic maxim goes. First, know thyself. If primal power is a significant part of our humanness and we are drained of it, then how can we know ourselves? And without knowing ourselves, how can we know how to show up in the world? We will only do what we see others do, what we are conditioned to do. This is a big problem. But you're here, and we're going to remove this problem. All illness, weight problems, less than optimal energy levels, and mental and emotional imbalances have a singular cause, the same cause that yours springs from, a depletion of primal power. When my clients and readers put the principles I teach into action, they start a process in themselves that results in a resurgence of this primal power. And it is entirely accessible for anyone at any stage of life and on any budget to engage in this restoration process. Cleansing the body, mind, and spirit are not ends unto themselves. Cleansing ourselves creates the conditions for primal power to flow. When it does, it lights up in us like the sun. A person insufficient in primal power, which is most people, and a person whose cup of primal power runneth over, are as different as night and day, as different as living powerlessly in the dark and living an empowered life in the light. It is a way out of the struggle and the confusion. It makes how to live and what to eat, how to relate, how to connect with the heart and mind all entirely clear. The depletion of primal power causes all the trouble in a person, and the restoration of primal power remedies it. Disease is an effect. Depression, anxiety, broken relationships, poor sexual energy, and even infertility are all effects of the singular cause, which is depletion of primal power. Health is also an effect. Health is the effect of an abundance of primal power. What are you suffering from? A physical symptom or disease or several? Chronic headaches, frequent colds or flus, arthritis, skin disorders like psoriasis, eczema, or acne? Or are you fearing cancer? Do you have emotional imbalances like anxiety, depression, too much stress, and mental imbalances, trouble concentrating? How about sexual imbalances like weak libido or trouble conceiving a baby? Or maybe you are just fed up with your weight or some aspect of your appearance. It all comes down to primal power. It's restoration to your being. Primal power, once restored, will then become the continual restorer of physical, emotional, mental, sexual, and energetic wellness to you in perpetuity. You simply need to learn how to restore it, which is my expertise. So you can leave that part to me. If you're ready, I can teach you to restore yourself fully with primal power so your life can light up and be healed by primal power. You will never look back. I know it may sound boastful or arrogant to some of you when I say I can help reconnect you with such power and help you restore your body, mind, heart, and vitality to this extent. But when you learn what I have to share with you, you will understand how and why I can, without hesitation, make But when you learn what I have to share with you, you will understand how and why I can, without hesitation, make such a strong claim. I'm here to tell you that you could be a powerhouse. We have inadvertently cut and blocked ourselves off of this sacred primal power, but that no longer has to be the case. If you are ready to learn about this primal power, and let me go back, sorry. I'm here to tell you that you could be a powerhouse. We have inadvertently cut and blocked ourselves off of the sacred power. Sorry, let me do that one more time. I'm here to tell you that you could be a powerhouse. We have inadvertently cut and blocked ourselves off of this sacred primal power, but that no longer has to be the case for you if you are ready to learn about this primal power and apply it to your life. Such a life is what I call a life of power. The alternative is a life without power. That doesn't have such a nice ring to it, does it? And yet, for all the money and fame and degrees and ambition in the world, that is what people settle for, a life without power. That was never acceptable to me. I knew there had to be more. I sensed there was something missing, as you probably do too from time to time, between capitulating to this being as good as it gets. But now you have found me and my work, and you can start to live a life of power as soon as you are ready. One important note. You might be thinking this sounds very spiritual, and you may be wondering if it will perhaps conflict with your religious or spiritual path. No, this information will not conflict. It can only serve your path to expand and help explain the deeper workings of the creative force active in our world. I would like to further note that only good can come of this information. The beauty is that it is ready for all to receive and be enlivened and enriched by. Once again, it will shed light on the various spiritual paths and should illuminate things for you. But it is not in any way connected to any spiritual path other than your own personal development. You can always identify empowering knowledge because it will energize you. It leaves you feeling that you are going to be far better off for knowing it. This is what you will find with every insight gained in the Life of Power teachings. But right now, I want to know a little more about you. What does harnessing, embodying, and wielding the power of life and leading a life of power mean to you? Please scroll down below this video and tell me in the comment section. And of course, if you liked this video and found it useful, I would love it if you clicked the like button and shared it with your friends. In the next video, we're going to cover energy and a new term called anti-energy and anti-energetic forces. And I'm going to show you how to cancel out anti-energetic forces. This is really important because when you know how to cancel out anti-energetic forces, you simultaneously draw your own access to primal power toward yourself and prevent any further personal power from being drained from you. When you know and apply what I have to teach you, you will live a life of power.